Outwork everyone else. Powerful motivational speech. David Goggins, instead of the path of least resistance, started choosing the path that most resistance to prepare myself for the journey that was coming my way. And you realize through hard work, you can outwork anybody, no matter how badass they are. It starts with yourself. You got to start diving into those things that you're afraid of. You don't gain confidence by going to a spot that makes you feel good. This could be a false reality, and the second life gives you that challenge. All you want to do is go back to work at your confidence is that happy spot. Now, what gave me confidence? We're spending years at a kitchen table trying to learn how to read and write all my own, realizing I can't learn the way you learn. I can't, but I can learn what gives you confidence. Not being afraid is overcoming the fear. That's what gives me confidence, is facing these things, overcoming them. Man maybe not overcome them everyday station and facing the facing pretty soon like this. You know what, man, this is where it's at. It's not in that comfort zone. It's in the discomfort zone is where my confidence is getting built. That's where it's getting built. Happiness, peace, enlightenment. It's all up here, man. It's all up here, all up here. He's got to be willing to go and face it. And that's the hard part. The physical standard is not what they need to meet. It's a mental standard you must meet in life. That's how I live my life. And know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap or capator selves. The most people quit I had just started. And when you take that mindset and you learn to flip that around, that's what made me powerful, and my body followed. And so I said, I want to do this. I'm going to give myself a challenge every single day until the fear goes away. That's right. And I feel like that's what more of us should be doing. I'm hearing that that's how you live your life. That's allism. And it helps me feel so much more confident when you overcome that fear of saying this doesn't have control over me anymore. That's right. It's like you can be such more peace. A lot of us speak in Hollywood. I used to speak in hollow words. I don't do anymore. Everything that comes out my mouth has substance, is real, will have these feelings in our bodies and our minds and our souls. I act all mine. A lot of us who are afraid of something will allow our minds to choose and path at least resistances, so we go a different route. I'm afraid of something that's telling me you musty. You must do that. Life is one big mind game, and you're playing it with yourself. You cannot lose perspective of where you've come in life. I'm trying to give people a different thought process of life, where failure, hell, disappointment, discomfort is a great learning tool. And many people don't understand that, but if these few moments in life that you have, like for me, always talk about it, Rocky 1 round 14. That 2 minute and 13-second clip of Rocky getting up when Apollo knocked him, that one clip when I was going through every bad time in my life, is all what I wanted to be. There wasn't a guy that won it. It's the guy that won everything. He did it was a guy that kept getting up after being knocked down. So I realized if that 2 minutes and 13 seconds changed my life, that's all. I was something that I needed to be in the world I was living in. Maybe my story gives someone the 2 minutes and 30 seconds dating to change their life. Everybody's got a story. We don't share it on social media. We share our nice life on social media. We have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample, something that you lived in every day. Whatever hardness comes and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you, and it is form. Beauty, you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your securities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. Look for that cookie that your mom used to give you, but you were sad when you were sick. We looked for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments. You must retrain your mind to think differently. And hell, the mental standard is you must know how far you've come. I walk in the room now, and I know that hours and years and decades I put into David Goggins. That's something. It's not on the wall. It's not atrophy on the wall. It's not a medal on your neck. I don't care how you perceive David Goggins, because through my journey, it figured out the one piece I was missing. It thought it was cars. It thought it was women. It thought it was everything. The one piece I was missing was me. Having the courage to face myself, where I got my work ethic from, was the hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, you have a disability. Yeah, and you still want to be at the top of your class. I didn't want to just get by when I realized that I can learn, do hard work, and I can beat the Katorian in school, but it got put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know, what kind of strength comes from that when you're sitting down that guy that value turns lady for an hour? And, I caught you. I have the work ethic to catch you. That's where David Young has got really invented. Was a kitchen table with 20 spiral notebooks that were empty, and then they were full. And when you can go through that, I still have them in my storage unit. You go through these spiral notebooks of your life, and you realize this is how I learned. This is unbelievable. It wasn't until I got real sick and my life got real quiet. I went for running 205 miles and 39 hours until I couldn't get out of bed. My life was taken from me. And that's when I realized, hadn't taken time to think about what I've done in my life. I've done all these things, but there is no finish line. I finished a race of life now. When he received my medal, I goon, I get in the car and I go and I started figuring out life. That I was leaving so much in the tank once I realized, my God, man, I was just dumb fat kid being bullied. And now I'm a 180-pound person, lost 106 pounds in less than 3 months, learned to read, learned to do this, learned to do that. I was like, you need more. I was fueling my mind with everything, and it never took time to say, my God, you came from this Helen. You're here. I didn't come 8,000 miles from where I started. But if you never know that you're still in these $7 a month places, what place? It's that place by yourself. It's those hours and years and decades by yourself in the grip of life, where life has you be the throat and choking you out, and you're sitting there calm because you're trying to figure it out. You're not panicking. You're not quitting. You're not throwing in the towel. You're saying there's a way around this. And when you figure it out, when life has you gripped in advice, and you can figure that out, that's when you overcome. That's when you overcome the journey. Getting there was harder than going through it. So that's the whole thing about life, man. It's that journey that makes you who you are foreign.